I'm Chelsea Cooper, registered dietitian with Digestive Care Center, and this is Simply Made Meals. And today I'm going to show you the simple steps it takes to make spaghetti squash. So spaghetti squash is one of the many winter squashes, and other ones are pumpkin and butternut squash. And they're really available this time of year and very budget friendly, so it's a good one to learn how to cook. Spaghetti squash is also really popular right now for a replacement for pasta because it's a lot lower in calories and carbohydrates, and it's surprisingly easy to make. So first I did want to highlight just some of the nutritional benefits of the spaghetti squash. So I have my board over here. So we're going to compare 1 cup of cooked spaghetti squash to 1 cup of cooked pasta. And you can see that the spaghetti squash only has 42 calories per cup compared to the pasta that has 220 calories. And it only has 10 grams of carbohydrates compared to the pasta, which has 43. The spaghetti squash also has more potassium, calcium, and vitamin A. So if you're wanting to lose weight or maintain a healthy weight or control your blood sugars, the spaghetti squash is definitely a great alternative. It's also a good alternative if you're following a gluten-free diet, and you can do that in place of pasta. So let's get started with cooking the spaghetti squash. First, you'll take a spaghetti squash and split it in half lengthwise. And spaghetti squash is a really hard squash, so what I did to help cut it in half is pierce slits in it beforehand, and you microwave it for 5 minutes and then let it cool. So I'm just going to split it in half. So the inside of it, and you can see that there's the seeds in it. So next we're going to take the seeds out. Alright, so I removed the seeds from the squash, and then next you just drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the spaghetti squash. And then place them face down on an aluminum foil lined pan. So I have that over here. Okay. So I've preheated my oven to 425 degrees. And you bake it in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes, and it also depends if you've pre-cooked it a little bit in the microwave, it'll take a shorter amount of time in the oven. Alright, so I have the spaghetti squash, and it's baked and nice and soft, and one way that you can test if it's done is just take a fork and you can pierce it in the back and it should just go through pretty easy, kind of like if you were checking a potato. So just have a fork and a bowl, and we're just going to simply scrape the spaghetti squash out into the bowl, and you can see that it comes out in strands like pasta. Alright, so we have all of the spaghetti squash out. You can see it makes quite a bit in just one spaghetti squash, and so there are a variety of different ways that you can enjoy it. What I'm going to do right now is just a simple way of drizzling a little bit more olive oil on it, and then seasoning it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then a little bit of oregano, and then some Parmesan cheese. And it tastes really good this way. It would be a great side dish, like an Italian, chicken, something like that. And then we just toss it together. But some other ways that people enjoy this is just tossed with their favorite marinara or pasta sauce. And if you wanted to make it into a complete meal, you could add like a lean ground turkey or ground beef to the pasta sauce and top it with broccoli. Other ways that people like to use spaghetti squash would be seasoning it with like a lemon and herb sauce and sauteing it with shrimp for a lightened up shrimp scampi, or replacing it for the noodles in a pad thai, or even like topped with your favorite chili recipe. So there's definitely a lot of ways you can utilize it, and I hope you'll give it a try just because it's really simple to make and you can see that there's a lot of nutritional benefits to it. And you can find this recipe and others that I just mentioned on our website at dccevv.com in the nutrition section. Enjoy!